What's up, Collective Fam? It's your boy Tony the Toy Rat, back with another rigorous resin review. And this time, we're going in for another one of our X-Men miniature resin busts, the animated version of Psylocke. Yeah! You guys stick around, and I'm going to unbox it for the very first time. Now, we've done a Psylocke before, so this is going to be the first time we're doing the Psylocke resin mini bust. You see the box spinning? Now let's get her open. Bang! Collective Fam, we open up the box just like we typically do on the resin mini bust here. There is no tape on the box. Doesn't make it any less difficult to open a damn thing up sometimes. There we go. Okay. X-Men. Psylocke. Okay. Let me take these glasses off for just a minute because they ain't even bothering me. So right now, it looks like we have our certificate of authenticity. I'm going to pull it out of the plastic real quick. We've got number 123 of 3,000. So guys, it's the same thing I tell you every single time. If, in fact, you want one of these, remember, there's only 3,000 of them. And this is your certificate of authenticity. Remember, this is what our friends at Diamond Select Toys and our friends at Gentle Giants put together for you every time you get one of their resin busts. Now, let's crack the sucker open, shall we? Okay, cool. You know, as always, they put a little synopsis on the back of the box right here. This resin of Psylocke is based on her appearance in X-Men, the animated series, and the features detailed sculpting, cartoon-accurate paint applications limited to 3,000 pieces and excludes unnumbered certificate of authenticity. It was designed by Barry Bradfield and sculpted by Michelle Riley, I think. There it is. Okay, guys. Those who get the credit or they get your unhappy comments one way or the other. Don't send them to me. I'm just the guy who opens it up. All right, hang on. Yeah, so I have to have my little scalpel tool here, and we're just going to crack that open. She already wants to slide right out, so that's good. Now, it does look, just at first glance here, that we have a couple of pieces inside the box that are going to have to be attached to her. Look like her power flares. I'm going to pull that out real quick. Set this plastic off to the side. Set this down. I'm going to open this up, show you inside the box. There it is. See it? You guys? Woo! There it is right there. Okay? And we got one. And then we got two pieces of powers. Of mutant powers. I probably should have checked into what exactly they called that ahead of time, but I did not. So there it is. With the resin boxes, I always keep the stuff in case you got to transport them because you know resin happens to be a lot more fragile. So we're going to take this out of the plastic now and hope to goodness that I am smart enough to figure it out without looking at a diagram. Sometimes I wonder myself. Yeah, that's one. Set that plastic down. And here is the other. No, it's a great image of plastic, right? Okay. Okay, all right. So this appears to be her belt sash. That should be flowing off the back of her. And this appears to be, you know, a magnetic power flare. So this is what you got here. I don't know if you guys can check those out. Show it to everybody, you know, as we go through here. That's the power flare. You can see the magnet on the other side. And then this element has an actual keying point in it. So you guys can see that right there. Little spot right on the top up here. So let's turn her around and seek the area of appropriate flaring. Ah, see? So right here on the side. Right there on the side. You guys see that? Little hole that's up there on the side. There's only one thing that can happen with that hole right there. It looks like the angle of the belt or sash is down, so we're gonna lock that piece in, hopefully, with no problems. Maybe. Okay. Okay, there it is. Just had to get my fat fingers in there, and you can see now she's got a whip to the sash, which gives this statue a much more dynamic flair. And then, of course, we've got, like I said, the magnetic power here. And it looks like it's coming off this hand as well. And it is. So you can see at the inset of the palm on the back side of her right hand, on the fist, right there. Can you see that, guys? There's an opening. See the opening right there? Okay, so that opening is meant to block directly on here somehow. There it is. 1, 2, 3. So now you've got the full Psylocke resin mini bust with her accompanying pieces. And I'm going to set her down. We are going to give her a full body spin, and then we'll have a quick conversation about what we like, what we don't like, how it matches the character content, all that wonderful stuff, and of course whether or not you should buy it. So this is a Psylocke, and now we get a full body spin. We're back, collector fam, and you got a full body spin of just the resin mini bust. But I wanted to take a minute and show you guys what they look like together, because this year we were fortunate enough to pick up Psylocke, the PVC action diorama from our friends at Diamond Select Toys, where again, this one that you see spinning in the middle is her resin mini bust counterpart. So I wanted to show them together, just let you guys see what differences are made and some of the design choices between the two pieces, because I think that's something cool that we can actually have a discussion about, like why they choose to do things one way versus another. A perfect example would be in our resin mini bust here, she's got way more of a purple hair. Now, I'll have to verify that on screen up here, whether or not she has a more purple hair in the animated series. I'm having trouble recollecting that right now. I will say that is a distinct difference between her PVC statue and her resin mini bust. She has the flared out sash on both the resin mini bust and the PVC statue. She's clearly not wielding a sword in the resin mini bust, but reflective of the power set, although in different hands, she is showing that psionic ability to puncture someone's brain or do the various things that she can do with her powers, right? Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but we'll go over it in a second. So I'm going to stop this spinning here. I'll set her off to the side. We can have a full-on discussion about our girl Psylocke here and whether or not you think she's going to be worth adding to your collection. So we'll just set her off, and if you guys want to keep staring at her over there, that's just fine. But remember, this is who we're here to talk about. Okay? Okay. Alrighty. So this is resin. Remember that just like any other resin statue you're going to get from Diamond Select Toys or our friends from Gentle Giants, you're going to get the certificate of authenticity, and every time you get one of those, you should check the bottom of the statue to make sure, verify that what you got on the card is what you got here, and it does match. It says 123 of 3,000 pieces. So, again, I haven't given any of these away, but I can guarantee they've been sold. She's a pretty popular character in that XMEN universe, and all the mildly used so far, we hope the MCU plans to use her in a much better way. More effective. I think they're going to do that with all the characters, and I'm excited about it. Okay, time to put the old man glasses back on, guys, for this review. Like the rest of the X-Men statues that we have reviewed this year, it comes on one of these bases that, again, we can only explain it's looking like a transporter on the bottom. And when I say transporter, yes, I know I'm mixing universes, and I'm talking about Star Trek when I'm talking about X-Men, and who cares? Deal with it. That's my best method of trying to explain what it is that we have going on here. So that is the extent of this base all the way around. They're cool looking. They're just, I don't have a name for them. I promise for you this year I'm gonna I'm gonna ask our friends at Diamond Select Toys to give me an answer on what exactly this base is called, because I don't know. I don't know. All right. In terms of it being Psylocke, again, she does have this really, really purple hair. She does have a purple highlight, typically what I recall seeing. But again, from the animated statue standpoint, they have done what they've done with so many of the other resin mini busts, which is go to this sort of hand painted, drawn on a accentuation of the body parts and the movement inside the statue. And by that I mean you'll see these various lines, these little segmented whips, these little dark lines that cross. And basically it's meant to illustrate that there is some motion taking place here, or there's some level of defined element within the body structure. Again, you'll see that as underneath the breastplate here, they're accentuating a shadow to give her the bust line. They're also going back inside the abdomen here, and they're giving you, again, another shadow to give you depth, to let you know this woman is cut up. She is ready for battle, and she's also beautiful. Clearly, she is matching the Psylocke sort of uniform. If you know anything about her, she's in what I would say is a leotard. I think you'd call this a leotard. A one-piece leotard type thing. She's also got these bands. You can see that's mimicked in the other statue here. These bands that go around the arm. Again, I have not done my research, so I apologize, because I don't know what those are called. And then finally, she's got, sort of an arm piece that goes on both sides that covers both of her arms, and of course her legs mimic that function. You don't see that on the resin mini bust, but you do see it here. So the top is matching the bottom. Here they don't have to illustrate that for you, but again, I think we're talking about two different things. So, as we proceed moving forward with what this looks like to everybody, especially to me, let's talk about what we always talk about first, which is portrait. Portrait. Yeah. I mean, she's got what I would typically see from her, which is, she's got some almost an Asian eye line in that, a little wider. And almost always when they draw her, she looks mixed in that way. Not just Asian, but maybe she, there's some other culture invested in her nationality there. I would say looking at it, I'm trying to think about this statue, looking at it without there being a costume on. Would I look directly at this particular statue and say, is this Psylocke? Without the rest of her body. And I guess that I would make that assumption based on the color of her hair and knowing that she was an X-Men. But if I didn't see the rest of her costume, I might have some slight problems with that. Does she match the animated version of Psylocke? The answer is 100% yes. They did match her, and she will look like what you remember from the X-Men cartoons, the animated series. So on portrait, I'm going to go ahead for the animated bust and give the 3 cheeses. We're going to go directly into a dynamic pose. Now, what makes this piece more dynamic is the fact that there is this flashing, this flaring out sash coming off the side. I question whether or not we would feel it was as dynamic without that additional motion in place. I question it. That being said, the whole design of the statue does illustrate the flow of it. And she's got, one hand up. I guess she's getting ready to light up another hand here and do some more power set stuff. She's already got it going in the other one that we magnetically placed and keyed onto her fist on the right-hand side. So given the fact that she's got one hand out, her head is whipping in that direction. Why do I say whipping? Because the hair, look at the hairline. That hair is whipping. And it is, thank goodness, they paid attention to the direction of that flow, because both her body and her head are whipping in the same direction. So the hair flow is in the same direction as the sash of the belt. I appreciate that. I've looked at several different statues where they're not paying attention to the motion of one part of the body versus the other, and sometimes things are flaring in directions I don't think they should be, not for a snapshot in time. But this is not that. So I would say absolutely on dynamic pose, 3 cheesers. So she's got 3 in her portrait, and she's got 3 in her dynamic pose. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Before we get too far down the road, I want to do some really quick housekeeping stuff. The total statue here, the total bit runs right at 6 inches high. All right, with her completely flared out here, with everything flared out, this is what I get. So I'm going to go with 8 inches, 8 inches. And then, of course, you know, from a width perspective, we're talking about 4. So 4, 8, and we said 6 in the end. Not much in the way of space. And later on, before the end of this year, I will be showing you guys all of those resin statues together to see if there's something there that you missed and you might want to go back and purchase. All right. Keyed in perfectly. Comes out great. Does it look like the statue that it's supposed to look like? The likeness of Psylocke? The answer is yes. Do I have any problems specifically with this statue? I think the paint job, which is next to discuss on this list, is phenomenal. They've done this continuous animated element where they're doing the colors like they would in some of the animated series. So do I want to use the term splotchier? Not so much, because it's very defined and they're clean lines. But they break evenly on the color sets to make sure they're evenly identified. Even along the side of her breastplate right here, you can see there's multiple colors. It's not just black and blue. It's also gray in there. So they take special attention to take a look at these things. And again, if you don't appreciate that about these things, I don't know what you are supposed to appreciate, really. All right, so for me overall, this is a 3 cheese mini bust. These are ranging anywhere from 60 to 120. I will put that on screen right over here, and you guys will be able to determine for yourselves whether or not this needs to make it to your collection. But remember, if you're already collecting all the other resin mini busts, it would make no sense to not have Psylocke. But you got to get it yourself, man. Go to Diamond Select Toys. The link will be in the bio. Bio? The description. There's no bio here. In any case, this is Tony the Toy Rat for Diamond Select Toys. Our friends, the X-Men, and specifically Psylocke, and I am out. I don't know what that was.